Well, folks, welcome to another Friday fishing forecast, and boy, these weeks are flying by quick. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I know my family and myself did. We had a really nice turkey dinner. Got to spend time with the grandkids, so I had a good time with that. So hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving, and before we know it, Christmas will be here. And then before we know it, 2023 will be here. But last weekend was an absolutely beautiful weekend. We had the very light winds. We had great fishing. The bite was unbelievable. I can't tell you how it was flat as glass out there. The bite was crazy. Saturday was a little iffy with the fog in the morning, but then it burned off and it was beautiful. So it was a really good weekend. A lot of people did really well inshore and offshore, so it was really good to see. There is one thing that I do want to talk about, and that is when we ran offshore Wednesday this week, between 3 miles to 8 miles offshore, straight out from Egmont, there was some bad water. I don't want to say the dreaded R word because I don't know if it is or not, but from what the FWC is showing on their red tide locations, there are some dots that are near that location, near Pinellas County, and then there was some down near Anna Maria. So unfortunately, there's some bad water around it. We went through a swath of it that actually was almost orange brownish. I've never seen this before, and there was dead bait fish floating around. We only saw one kind of bigger fish. We couldn't really tell what it was, but like I said, it was between 3 to 8 miles straight out of Egmont, just off the shipping channel into the shipping channel. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't get red tide too bad or at all. I'm just hoping that it's not at all, but there's some spotty locations, especially down south. They're getting hit with it pretty bad. But anyway, keep an eye out for that. Hopefully this north wind's pushed it out away from us and has cleared the water up. But Tampa Bay itself is doing very well. They're doing some dredging work, which is really muddying up the water quite a bit. So I think it's changing some of these fish patterns inside the bay. So if you see that dredge, don't fish near it because I think it's messing up the bottom quite a bit. They're all over the place. One morning you go out and they're out near the mouth, and the next morning they're way inside the bay. But I think when they're towards the mouth, they're actually dumping all of the dredge onto the Egmont Key, but it's still mudding up the water. Anyway, we do have what looks like to be a beautiful weekend. The winds are going to be up Saturday morning, but they're going to drop off dramatically as the day goes through. And then they're going to be flat calm on Sunday. So the weekend looks absolutely beautiful with temperatures in the 70s, low 80s. And I think it's going to be a beautiful fishing weekend again. Now let's go ahead and get into the tides and schooners for this weekend so you get an idea of what the fishing conditions will be like. All right, folks, here are the tides for this weekend. On Saturday, we have a high tide at 10:13 a.m. at a 1.35 foot. Then we have a low tide at 3:22 p.m. at a 0.70 foot. Then we have a high tide at 9:49 p.m. at a 1.95 foot. On Sunday, we have a high tide at 11:35 a.m. at a 1.29 foot. Then we have a low tide at 3:53 p.m. at a 0.90 foot. Then we have a high tide at 10:16 p.m. at a 2.11 foot. Now, as you can see, the difference between the high tide in the morning and the low tide in the afternoon, there's not a ton of movement in that tide. So if you're fishing in the bay, that is a great time to go fishing for grouper and snapper because you have that slower tide and those fish like to come off the bottom. So if you want to concentrate on fishing for those fish during that time, and then maybe as the tide turns and starts to go out starts to come in the evening, then you can hit that stronger tide. Like I said, I like those slow tides for the grouper and snapper, and I like the faster tides for the inshore fish like snook, redfish, trout, sheep's head, things like that. Now I'm seeing a lot of pictures of sheep's head being caught. I'm seeing a lot of pictures of redfish and snook being caught and trout. So I think things are gearing up for the winter time. Chad just recently, he had a snook on he's caught 3 at 40 inches, and he said, and I saw it, and it was so big it couldn't even get its mouth out of the water. And unfortunately, the leader popped as I went to go net the net the snook, and he goes, that was by far the biggest snook I've ever hooked. So those fish are moving around. They're still kind of staging in their spring locations or fall locations, whatever you want to call it. We really don't have those kind of seasons here, but the spring locations, what I'm talking about is out on the outer flats. They're staging up near like backwater creeks. They're staging up near canals. They're staging up near rivers like what we have here. So kind of keep that in mind when you're looking for those kind of fish. Now, when it comes to bait fish, we have been catching pinfish on the flats, and we have been catching whitebait on the flats, just not in numbers. The whitebait we've been catching at the Skyway. So the Skyway, any of those markers will be holding bait this time of year. So if you're looking for a majority of whitebait, then I would definitely go for your deep water applications. If you're looking for pinfish, then I would look on the flats for those. Let's go ahead and get into the salooner periods for this weekend. On Saturday, we have a major feeding time from 7:52 a.m. to 9:52 a.m. Then we have a minor feeding time from 2:18 p.m. to 3:18 p.m. On Sunday, we have a major feeding time from 8:36 a.m. to 10:36 a.m. Then we have a minor feeding time from 2:50 p.m. to 3:50 p.m. All right, those are the salooners and tides for this weekend. Like I said, the weather looks absolutely beautiful, so I think it's going to be a good fishing weekend. So if you get a chance to get out, definitely get out. This Saturday, Chad and I are going fishing with a couple of new people that we're going to have on the boat. One is a guy that I've been talking to for a long time. He also has a YouTube channel that's larger than ours, but his name is Steve Vanderbaan. And it's Vanderbaan Wildlife, and you can look him up on YouTube. He's got a great family channel. They do a lot of different things, from diving, hunting, clamming, all kinds of stuff. So they're from Michigan like myself, but I've been here for a long time. So we're going to fish with him, and then we're going to fish with our good friend Danny Trevino, who's been a very good customer and supporter of Tampa Bay Fishing Channel for a long time. So we're really looking forward to getting them on the boat. We had invited our 18,000 subscriber winner to go out, but unfortunately he has Air Force reserve duty this weekend. So thank you for your service, and we will definitely be in touch for the next couple weeks to get you out and get you out on the boat. And speaking of that, we're coming up to 19,000 subscribers. So if you have not signed up on our website, you can sign up on our website. Just subscribe to our website, and that automatically puts you in for the drawing to be picked to go fishing with Chad and I. So if you're looking forward to doing that, then or going fishing with us, then definitely subscribe to the website. When it comes to consultation trips, I promise I'm going to start doing them. I've been in contact with a couple people already, and we're going to start doing those. I thought things were going to start to slow down for me, and they got absolutely crazy. So I definitely want to do that because I want to give back, and I want to help fellow anglers go out and catch fish and feel comfortable when they go out looking at their bottom machines and what to look for, how to fish for them, and how to catch them. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the top catches this week. Thank you to everybody that sent in pictures. We really appreciate it. And please continue to do that. If you go out, it doesn't matter what kind of fish it is. It doesn't matter if it's a largemouth bass. It doesn't matter if it's an American red snapper, grouper, snook, whatever. If you're proud of your catch, please send it to us at info@tampabayfishingchannel.com. Let's go ahead and get into those top catches. This first one, this is Krishan Bowlers, I hope I'm saying that right, with a nice 30-inch American red snapper that he caught on our 4-ounce neon yellow ball jig. They were fishing the middle grounds out of Crystal River and got their limit of red snapper. Next, we have Thomas Dow with another American red snapper caught offshore of Tampa Bay using our 1 1/4 sand Stewie jig. Thomas, thanks for being such a good fan and such a great supporter. We really appreciate it. Last but not least, here is Anthony Fields with some real nice grouper. This is what he had to say. Went out with a great captain and got these on Tampa Bay Fishing Channel 1 1/4 ounce jigs. Big fan of the channel. I really like that guy Tony that you bring with you. He really adds value to your programming. Fish more, catch more. Okay, Tony. If you haven't recognized those pictures, that's our good friend Tony Slackline Fields. He's been a friend of Chad's for years, And he's a really nice guy, really fun to fish with, and I just thought that was kind of funny. But he's a blast. He's a good sport, and we rag on him a lot, but that's what it is about on our boat, is having fun. So that's the top catches for this week. Again, we appreciate everybody sending in those photographs. I want to say thank you to everybody that put in Black Friday orders. We got a little bit jammed up, and we apologize about kind of the lateness of some of the orders going out. We're still waiting on a couple of components, and I've sent emails to those clients letting them know that we're a little short on components and just waiting for those components to get in so we can finish the orders. They were supposed to be here last week and they didn't get here, so we're still waiting for them. So please be patient. We appreciate that if you can be patient with us. But thank you to everybody else that ordered. It was crazy. I didn't expect it to be like that, but look forward to a Christmas sale at some point. If you're subscribed to the website, you'll get an email before anybody else knows about it. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Okay, a couple other things to go through. Finn's Fishing Club meeting is coming up this next Tuesday. I will be doing a seminar talking about everything hogfish. So if you're interested in going out and catching hogfish, myself, and I'm hoping Chad can make it. He'll be in business meetings with his company, but he's supposed to be in St. Pete. So hopefully he can get away from that evening and come over and talk with me, because he's the true redfish or hogfish king. The guy can catch hogfish when nobody else is catching hogfish on our boat. So I really want him to be here, and fingers crossed that he'll be there. The Cockroach Bay cleanup, which we do every year, is coming up on December 10th. It starts at 1 o'clock, and it's going to be located at 5299 Cockroach Bay Road at 1 p.m. Saturday, December 10th, and afterwards we'll follow up with a toy drive at 3 p.m. at the Salty Shamrock, which is at 6186 U.S. Highway 41, Apollo Beach. You will receive a raffle ticket for showing up, and an additional raffle ticket for every individual new unwrapped toy donated. We're going to have some awesome prizes along with some great charters to give away. So if you've been involved in that, you know how good of a feeling is to go out there and help clean up. I personally am going to try to make it. 1 o'clock is tough for me, especially if we run offshore. I'm going to try to arrange some things to maybe I fish on Sunday instead of Saturday, but I'll talk to Chad about that and see what we can do. Because I do want to be there. I do want to support what those guys are doing. Captain William Wise, Captain Mike Goodwine. I'm just kind of a mouthpiece for it to help them promote it and get it out there and get in there and get dirty and clean up and everything else like that. So I think that covers it all for this week. I appreciate your patience on watching this. Again, the weekend looks absolutely beautiful. So if you can get out and get on those fish, do it. So fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.